Hello everybody, welcome back to a new episode here in Brookshore. As you can see, last episode, if you haven't seen it, we covered the botanical garden and we started part 1 expansion over in Coleridge. Between episodes I've been fairly busy. I've updated the highway here, and no, your eyes do not see you if you've seen it already. Victoria has now got a bit of a skyline. I thought it would make sense that we upgraded to the buildings along its high street, as Coleridge is kind of high density, and I felt, you know what, it makes sense to have the same over here. Now, I don't jump the gun, but I want to give you guys and girls the opportunity for next episode to decide what we build. I'm going to throw up the options on screen, and that will be A water treatment facility, B, a garden city, or C, a steel factory. Just drop down A, B or C in the comments. And I'm going to add a new segment in this series called Story Mode, which we're going to dive into now. Coleridge has grown rapidly over the last few years. Businesses are booming along its vast high street. Passengers arrive from all over Brookshore by its new train line that is available. Industry's going well for the demand for coal and ceramics in the time frame too. Coleridge has a workforce, the infrastructure's already laid, and the potential to develop much further. Cedar Ore has unused land which they wish to develop. The executives are delighted with their profits but constrained with their current setup. They feel they do not want to just extract the resources on the site, but they have the space to process the material too. A glass manufacturing facility, a kiln, a cargo train terminal would really see them level up the company. They need more workforce, and Coleridge has the space for more residential development. Okay, so I hope you liked the new segment that I've included in the series. I thought it's a good idea just to be able to kind of bring together the idea for the episodes and explain and lay out the context of why we're doing things. What we're going to do now is we're going to look at our low residential area, and then we're going to kind of do it in parts, and then we're going to be, between each part, we'll be expanding the ore industry right over here. So first things first, let's look at our connections into our new town basically. So I'm going to put terrain on, because I notice there's a bit of a dip here. We're going to have a coastal road that's going to follow all along here and eventually connect with the capital and basically make its way over to the other side of the map. So let's place that down. We're going to go over this side here because it's a little bit less of an incline for us to get down. Probably best off build it with free form tool. Going to curve about here. I'm going to switch to our curved road tool, so I can get a nice clean curve on there. Probably about there will be fine. Try and follow that contour. I'll head over that way. Let's just check to make sure that's not too steep. Yeah, it's not too bad. I think we can live with that. Alright, so let's look at the next one. I'm going to take that back actually, because I've got plans for what I want to do here. So I'm going to kind of like dead end this road, and we're going to have a park kind of at the end of the road, so you can sort of like as if a landmark at the end. And then what we'll do is we'll run this is kind of going to act as like a ring road basically, and that will run out in front and connect here. So with this road, we're going to pretty much branch it off towards, I think we'll go towards this way, and then that will kind of, one will head off that way and one will split into that road there, and then this road will just follow pretty much, we'll head off in that direction. Now this is our marker for our boundary for the Cedar Ore, so I'm just going to downgrade that so when we come to it I don't get confused as a road, so we just know that's the boundary. Okay, so we've got another road here, which I think we can probably just kind of curve, bring that down, just curve straight in here. Maybe at a nice little angle, and then this one, just connect around there. So we've got a ring road, and then what we can actually, do you know what we're going to do is, instead of doing that, we're going to branch this off, head straight in there like so, and that can connect in there. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. It looks quite organic, so I think we'll go ahead with that. Alright, so let me place in a few residential streets. I'll be right back with you. Okay, so this is the kind of starting frame that I've come up with. So over here we've got some more of a griddish area. This is going to be kind of like our larger lots of 4x4s. The reason I'm doing this is we kind of have a bit more space basically, because we're moving out of the town itself. We can have some service buildings in here, maybe kind of like a town hall, just specifically for this kind of suburb of Coleridge. Towards the left hand side we have got a few cul-de-sacs. I've decided to dead end this road here because I think they probably would have used that as kind of like a cut through rather than going round. So in the middle here we're going to place our services down now, and that's going to kind of determine where our streets are going to go. We're going to lay some first homes down, and also I think that will determine where we build next. I think this bit here would be where the first houses would have grown in. I know I did mention that this was going to be a green area, sorry, and as much as I'd like to keep it as much as green area as possible, we've got a park here, so this is just going to be built in as residential. We can't afford to leave this ground untouched. So I've been scanning through what assets I want to use, and I've come up with this one, the Fabian house. Now, the thinking behind this is I'm going to place it off of this road here, and obviously I know it's kind of like a tourist building. I like the style of it. I really like the little spire on the roof there, and the tower, and to me it kind of looks like a sort of like a town hall. So we can imagine this was perhaps like the original town hall for the area. So we'll just pop that in. Alright, and then we've got this dead space behind it, so let's kind of make use of that. I think we could probably have like maybe perhaps a clinic, if we can fit that in here. Yeah, so the clinic right up against that road. Then we can always put something behind here as well. And then what I'm thinking, opposite the town hall, I think we'll have kind of like a nice extravagant firehouse, something like that. We'll give it its own little road. And what will also be good is this should cover with our sims over here as well, or some of them. We do need to show a little bit more love to Coleridge over here at the first mining town. Need to put some parks, some assets to bring it up to speed. But for the here and now, I'm pretty happy with that. And whilst we are in this vicinity, why don't we just perhaps lay down some vanilla detailing? I don't know, maybe like a path of trees, and upgrade that to perhaps the more nicer looking linden trees. What do you think? Subtle, but I think it works. A few benches. Towards the end of the episode we'll do a detailing session as well. So, right, so we've got our town centre, a hypothetical town centre, our medical clinic, our firehouse. What else can we put in? I'm just thinking it might be nice to kind of upgrade this as like an avenue. Maybe, yeah, that looks quite nice. And then again we can just use the linden trees, I think, as well. That would just make that look great. I think really, just adding trees and colour just really brings it to life, makes it feel a lot more human, just a lot more of a nicer area actually. Yeah, that's quite special, especially going down to this section here. Yeah, really, really nice. This first bit of green detailing on the trees, apart from this area over here. So I'm pleased with that. Okay, so another little asset I've just come across is the Hotel Vespa. And I guess it wouldn't hurt having a hotel in this area as well. So I'm just thinking about where we can kind of place that down, where it'll make sense. So we've got a corner there. Just wondering maybe we can perhaps give it its own little road. What do we think on this side? It's got something about this building, looks quite important. Just brings a little bit more life to the town. I'm just going to repeat that pattern actually. I think what might look nice is if we have... Oh, wrong one. Actually, do you know what? That looks quite... I think I prefer that with the concrete. because obviously we've got the trees in the middle of the road. Yeah, it feels just a little bit more spacious. And I want to put a library in here. Alright, that's good. It's looking quite an important part of town. So, with those assets placed, let's just look at where we can perhaps introduce a little bit of residential zoning. Yeah, kind of just thinking might actually have that as a cul-de-sac. Alternatively, we could curve that in. Yeah, I think we'll curve that in. It just creates a little bit more of an interesting road layout, I think. There's a lot of junctions around here, but because it's going to just be sort of residential, I don't think it's going to matter too much. So let's discuss where I think we'll have some more houses, where the first ones would be. I think it's critical we do have a little bit of low density commercial. Perhaps we'll have some shops here on this intersection. Even do the same this side, perhaps a row of shops. We'll continue a bit more residential. Apologies if there's quite a few cuts in this episode so far. I've got a bit of a chesty cough at the moment, so I'm just trying to sort of cut out the commentary where when I'm coughing. Okay, so for the expansion of Cedar Ore, let's just have a quick look at the grounds that they've got. We've got ample space here for a cargo area. We could even have, ideally, I'd like to have a few rail yard lines in here. We're going to move the storage out. I think it would look quite nice if we have the storage backing onto this railway that dissects the site here. That'll look pretty good if we have the back of the storage with the trains kind of whizzing past. We'll have obviously we'll have a bridge to get over to the facilities over on this side of the site. So with that being said, let's just do a little bit of maintenance and clear out some of the existing infrastructure. So we'll have the bridge, I think, come straight down here and over. And the one I'm going to use, which I like the look of, is the American Truss Bridge. Yeah, that looks great. Really making the use of that asset pack, which is fantastic. And then we'll bring this back down to ground. Do the same on the other side. I don't think that's too steep. It is a little bit, but I think in the context of the game we'll just have to just let that one slide and we'll just connect straight in with Industry Road, and let's back off a little bit and upgrade this. Now this road can come in and connect up. Yeah, that's exactly the look I want. Really industrial looking iron bridge. Just fits the assets well. So let's pop in another storage on this side. We'll leave a little gap down there because I think it'll give us a chance to put a gravel road in. No trees this time. And you'd imagine they'd want kind of access around that building, so that can head off around that side at some stage. Alright, so I'm going to sever the connection here because I don't want too many entrances. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this one to connect in, and we reuse this asset here, this road here. Now we've got some space here. Why don't we put some, thinking of some like storage areas, warehouse yard, that's what they are. It might get a little bit busy. I might come to regret this decision. For now, I think it'll be just fine. So why don't we have, in this side, we're going to have metals. Yeah, I've placed another one in here, and then we'll have this as ore products. Okay, so for this kind of housing estate here, I'm going to go a little bit rogue with it, I think. I think we're just going to not kind of connect in there. I think we'll have that. We'll have, obviously, a connection. We don't have it completely shut off to or emergency services and things like that. So why don't we have a road in here, and I think I might just have sort of kind of like cul-de-sacs coming off of it. Okay, so we're back at Cedar Ore for the second part of their expansion, and it's going to be similar to what we've done before. We're going to mirror these ore storage, okay, and then on this side what I'm thinking is we'll have kind of like a pathway that separates it by one tile, and we will have the oil fence just basically block off this road. It would be nice. One thing I'd like to see in the vanilla game is, rather than just having these fences, could we have like perhaps a brick wall? I mean, that would really go well in the era we're in, especially around the warehouses and the industry areas, in fact. Now, I'm having trouble trying to fit this fence. There we go. Now the next idea I've got is I'm going to run a road in here. Now of course this town is built up on basically industry, and to show that off, I think it would go down well if we was able to see the industrial buildings from the high street. So what I envision is we're going to go into our old faithfuls in here. Here we go. Right, so if we put it on this road, you can see it right the way down the high street. And it really shows a bit of heritage to this town. Yeah, let's go for 2 of those wall to wall, kind of like as if it's one factory. We'll have another one of them, and actually the zoning's shuttered here, so maybe I need to adjust that. So rather than having all of the traffic on this road, let's have a few of these ones facing that way. How great does that look? It really does actually feel that we are a little bit back in time. Obviously, forget these street lights, these modern street lights, and of course forget about the cars. We wouldn't have cars. So yeah, that really works well. Anyway, let's place down one of our processing buildings. I'm going to plop in the glass manufacturer. This one here. Now I think we will orientate it on this road. I think that works alright. And of course we've got access to the storage, and then on this side we've got these like factory doors. So let's give it a kind of like a road as a point, an access point for the lorries delivering off storage and things like that. There we go, it's got a bit of like an access road now. And then of course we need some barracks. I think that's the last one that we have access to, and it might make sense to kind of place them. Hold on, let's just correct these water pipes first. Right, anyway, so yeah, let's have some water barracks. Let's have some worker barracks, I don't know, alongside this road, perhaps looking out towards the residential. So if we bring the road down here, we can have a couple, I don't see why not, if we can fit them in. There's one here. Of course, there's not going to be enough room, is there? Alright, I think it does make sense to have them here, so I'm just going to change this road slightly. Okay, so I've made some drastic alterations to the roads, but I think it's for the best. It just creates a little bit more of an interesting road infrastructure. Alright, that's good for me. Now, I'm wondering if these buildings, I have seen it before, just over like the ones over here, they cry out because they're not getting all the services, but they're not playing up at the moment. So I was just thinking, maybe do I need to put a fire station in or a police station in house? But it looks like it's okay, it's holding up. And then let's have a couple of glass storage, and I suppose we probably could have unique factory products. Do we have any factories for the ore building? Of course we've got steel. Yes, of course. So yeah, that I guess we could store some of the steel over in this section. Yeah, of course. Here we go. Look, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll place a little fire engine station we'll go for the historic one. If we place it right next to the entrance, it will look like it's some kind of security office, something of that nature. Just bring a road out there, and we'll plot one down there, and we'll put a police station next to it. Hopefully that helps resolve some of these too few service issues. Alright, so I'm pretty pleased with the progress we've made for Cedar Ore so far. I think we're just waiting now on the workers to come through, and then we should be reaching level 3 very, very soon. But I think I'm going to leave this specific part here and carry on with a little bit more residential. We've got the demand coming in. We need 11,000. So I'm just going to fill in a few more spaces, and then I'm going to jump in to a detailing time lapse, and we're going to get the details all around the city. Well, there's lots of upgrades going on here, so I believe we should hit the 11,000 mark any moment. I've managed, there we go, straight away. So brilliant. So we've got access to trains. That is kind of like the main thing for this one, for this kind of like era. so I'm really pleased to have that. Obviously we've got a cargo train terminal. So yes, we've unlocked some exciting things now. What we'll do is we'll wrap the episode up here. I think we've covered quite a lot today, so I'm pretty pleased how things have turned out. Don't forget to leave a comment on what you want to see built in our next episode. Just drop in A, B or C in the comment and I'll pick up with what's got the most votes, we'll build. Obviously if I don't get any votes I'll carry on as planned. I'm going to leave you with some cinematics of the work that we've built today. If you've enjoyed the video, please feel free to drop a like. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, it'll keep you up to date with all the videos that we next drop for Brookshore. Anyway, I'll leave you with the cinematics. Thanks for watching today. Take care. Bye bye.